How's it going, everybody? The Grand Rail Fan here, and welcome back to another model train review. Today, I'm going to be looking at another Bowser locomotive. This time, it is the ALCO Century C630 in the SP livery. Now, if you guys have seen my previous video where I talk about a Baldwin RS12 from Bowser, I am looking forward to seeing what this locomotive might bring. It's got tsunami sound instead of, I believe, factory sound. So I'll be curious to see how this one sounds and looks in comparison to the Baldwin RS12 that I reviewed earlier this year. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, so just a quick look around in the box here. Here you can see the engine itself in all its glory through a nice clear see-through packaging here on the box. The nice Bowser green with the gold stripe looks nice. On the side here you can see the number, what number and letter it was, what kind of locomotive it is, and obviously it has tsunami sound, and it's Bowser's executive line as well. Now, this is Tsunami 1, so this is an older model, not necessarily the latest one, but that's okay. Another thing, if you've seen my old Bowser video, yes, the locomotive is supposed to be screwed in to the base. However, for the sake of time and the video, I did go ahead of time and unscrew it just for the sake of time of the video. So I'm going to pop that off here. Set it aside there. That's okay. Okay. I'm going to put that right there. Now, and the little sleeve right here. Yeah, a little bit of paperwork. Just quick. Got lubrication instructions. And say a quick start guide, program, look at the different horns that you can change this to, that's all well and good on the other side. So, lovely. Okay, so I'm going to take this, slide it out of the sleeve like such. And I think this just, if I remember correctly, yeah, it just pops off. There we go. So, if you know me, I'm really into P units. And a long time ago, a certain friend of mine really got me into ALCO locomotives. So, you can imagine I was pretty happy when I came across this at a certain train event. Oh, so I forgot to mention, I should probably mention this, but basically at the time of the recording of this video, the previous weekend, I flew down to Stockton, California, to attend what was known as Stockton Rail Fest. If you ever heard of it, it's a Facebook event. You can look it up. But basically, it's just a fun, cool meetup. We have fun filming trains around the Stockton Diamond area. There's tables set up with food and obviously different models and memorabilia that people are selling. And this locomotive, along with a bunch of other stuff, is what I picked up from that event. But I digress. Going back to this model, they got these nice foam inserts. I love that fact that it's one solid piece for the entirety of the handrails and it's not just multiple pieces. There's another one on the other side. Let me just get it real quick. There we go. I'm going to set that aside. Now, again, I already went ahead and unscrewed the locomotive from the base. So all I have to do is just pick it up by the chassis, lift it up, and there you have it. This is really nice. Really nice. First impressions wise, it looks like it has a lot of nice detail. I can already see a couple of like small, really fine printed detail. It looks like it's got a good amount of lighting features on it. So we'll see. We'll see when take a closer dive into this locomotive. Okay, so I've got the locomotive on the track down here, and we're gonna look through some details. And as I said, it looks like there's a lot of good fine detail. Starting from the front here, we got a nice standard step plow right here. If my camera would have focused, thank you. We got a nice MU hose detail in the front. Fragile, but still good handrails. Oh, looks like that one popped out. I guess I'll have to re-glue that. Oh, rip. Okay. Again, well, this is a used model. It's an older version of this model. So, you know, what did I expect? I did notice that this handrail popped out. No worries. I can just pop it back into place, glue it back in. No biggie. I do wish more model trains would have like wire handrails or like metal handrails, just so they're a lot stronger and they're not as so fragile. But again, if they did that, I understand that models would therefore be more expensive. So it's just sort of keeping it affordable, so to speak. But I digress. The front truck detail, you got the brake cylinder right here. It's a nice little fine detail here. Nice truck detail along here as well. We got what looks like the fuel gauge right here and a fuel system, something like that. We got the fuel tank here. We've got these cylinders. I forget what these are. Let me know in the comments what these cylinders are. I can't remember if these are like air cylinders or something like that for like the brakes or something. And then similar truck detail, again, brake cylinders, nice little detail on the trucks here. The lettering, the SP lettering here is nice and crisp. Again, there's a lot of small little small little sticker detail. You can see the fuel and emergency shutoff ones here. You see a water hatch that's here. The F on the here is for the front. You got the builder's plate right here below the cab, or what looks like a builder's plate. Hold on. Oh, it's like an ALCO plate, I think. We got lettering right here. We got lettering that says there's a fire extinguisher in this one right here. Roof mounted bell here. Roof mounted horn here. The windscreen wipers and the sunshades, they're separately applied pieces. Very nice. You got a bunch of handrail detail on the front. I forget if that cap is for, I think it's a sand cap. Let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's a sand cap. And then we got the number boards here. That's an emergency light up here. The headlights up here. The nice lettering on the side, number on the side of the cab, sorry. Now, there's 3 lights on each side of the number boards on the front here. I think you can kind of see it, but I don't know if these are like marker lights or classification lights. Again, let me know in the comments if you know. Don't know whether or not these light up, so we'll see. And if you go more towards the back here, maybe I'll... yeah, I'm going to take the model and flip it around. We got the same similar level detail. The coupler cut lever moves, MU hoses, the same footsteps, ladders, separately applied handrail details. For whatever reason, the number boards are not present on the back here. It's just a solid piece. I don't know what's going on there. That looks like a light, and obviously the headlights here. Again, there's another cap back here on the roof, like on the nose. And I'm pretty sure the front one is for sand, but I don't know if this one is also for sand or it's for something different. So again, let me know in the comments. Very similar detail. Got the vents, the grills here, in the back as well. So it's a fairly nicely detailed model. MSRP for this is normally $320, which it is a little bit on the higher side. But again, I only got this for $180, so I'm happy with that. And speaking of which, we're gonna test out the sound and lighting features next, so stay tuned. The ALCO 630 was originally produced in 1965. This was the second model of the Century Series 6-axle road-going locomotives that ALCO had produced. This locomotive produced about 3,000 horsepower and had a tractive effort rating of about 80,000 pounds, which is really impressive at the time, and unfortunately was one of the problems that this locomotive faced. It was simply too powerful for what they needed at the time. The horsepower boom didn't come until the early 1970s, when you start seeing locomotives such as the Centennials, such as gas turbines, such as the GEU 50s. Big, powerful locomotives. They didn't really need those back then. And so yes, the railroads bought these locomotives, and they did like them. Railroads such as the Union Pacific, the Southern Pacific, as we have here, the Reading Railroad, the Atlantic Coast Line, the Norfolk and Western, and the Chesapeake and Ohio railroads, as far as the lower 48s is concerned. And yes, they did have Canadian variants for both Canadian National, Canadian Pacific, and also BC Rail. Those, of course, were made by the Montreal Locomotive Works, ALCO's, I believe, Canadian subsidiary of the company, and were kind of redesigned for the Canadian market, so they look differently than the original versions, like you see here. That being said, this locomotive, being as powerful as it was ideally suited for ore trains, coal drags, basically heavy freights. And the railroads who bought them liked that. However, over time, they discovered that excessive wear and tear on both infrastructure and the engines themselves caused these locomotives to become a bit more problematic. And you have to remember that at this time, ALCO was in a really not so good state when it comes to the railroad market and the locomotive market because of its earlier design flaws with its diesel locomotives. It really gave a bad first impression to the railroads, and you don't get a second chance. You don't get a second first impression if that happens. So ALCO did not get any new customers. It's only the railroads that I mentioned were loyal customers that they had already, and they bought them. And unfortunately, these locomotives, because of their excessive wear and tear that they would produce while running, caused them to be retired in the 1980s. Barely 20 years of service. However, for some reason, the Canadian variants that were made, the Canadian railroads liked them. and actually kept them around until the early 1990s. So, hey, not bad. And yes, there are 3 known variants of this locomotive that exist. I forget off the top of my head which ones they are and where they are and whether or not they're operational. But I do know for a fact there's at least 3 variants of this locomotive that are still around, which is always nice. Alrighty, let's go through some of the sounds and lighting features, and see what features this locomotive has. I'm gonna go ahead and apply track power. Nice startup. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the headlights on. Oh wow. So when I press F0 to turn on the headlight, it turns on all the lights on the front. Okay, hold on. Let's see here what we got here. So we got the nose lights light up. The cab roof headlight also lights up. That emergency light lights up. And the number boards light up. And wow, those little marker lights above actually light up too. How cool. I'm going to quickly flip it in reverse and see what backlights work. So from what I can see here, the back headlight works and the blank number boards also light up. I thought I saw 2 different like class lights below that, but I guess they don't light up. Not a big deal. It's still really nice. That light package kind of caught me off guard there. That's a really cool feature. Sure. Marks for that. Okay, without further ado, I'm gonna go through the sounds real quick. Starting with the bell, F1. F2, the horn. F3, I believe, is a short horn. Yeah, it is. Short horn. F4, dynamic brakes. Nice. F5. No, nothing. F6. Nope. What about F7? Nope, nothing. Okay, F8 mutes the locomotive. F9. I hear a different noise, but I can't tell what that is, so interesting. Okay. Now let's see how this locomotive runs. I'm gonna put it at 1 speed step and see what happens. Oh, very nice. Moves very smoothly, even at the slow speed step. Very nice. Just gonna bring it back into frame here. Huh. That was very nice. Very nice, Bowser. Once again, showing that you are a really good manufacturer of model trains. The lighting package was a nice surprise. I always like it when my trains have a good number of lighting features and not just the headlights, because I know the SP lighting packages on some of their engines are just hilarious. The amount of lights that they've got working, and so I love it if a model train manufacturer actually is able to replicate all those lights being able to function, and this is a good example, definitely a good example of this being done. So well done. I certainly am happy that this has been done. That being said, this is an older model of the engine, so I have no idea what the MSRP was for it, or say how hard or easy necessarily this is to find on like used retailers. I don't even know if Bowser still makes this particular variant of it anymore. I'm sure it probably doesn't, but I'm sure Facebook Marketplace, eBay, maybe if you're lucky enough to find it at your local model train show. I certainly found mine at a model train show of sorts that I went to this past weekend, and was very fortunate to have picked this up. Well done, Bowser. I'm going to leave you all with a run by of this locomotive. I really am happy I finally got this one. I've been wanting an SP variant of this particular locomotive for a good long time, amongst other things. And, yeah, see you down the line.